In this video, I'd like to talk about the math question of the day for Wednesday, July 5th, 2023. And with this problem, we need to write the equation of a line that is perpendicular to this line here, y is equal to 3x minus 2, and that passes through the point -9, 5. And questions like these are typically taught in geometry classes, though you may also see them in an algebra class. So at this point, go ahead and pause the video, see if you can work through this on your own. And when you're ready, unpause the video and we can go through this together. Now, assuming that you have attempted the problem, let's start working through this. And we need to find the equation of a line that's perpendicular to this line right here. And the main strategy is that from this line, we can figure out the slope of the equation of our line. And then we can use this point and the slope to determine the equation of the line we're looking for. So let me first start by writing that the slope-intercept form of a line is y is equal to mx plus b, where m is the slope of the line and b is our y-intercept. So whatever the coefficient on x is, that's the slope of the line. So with this given line, this y is 3x minus 2, that's perpendicular to the equation of the line we're looking for. We can tell the slope, in this case, would be positive 3. So we'd say that m for this line right here is 3. And to figure out the slope that's perpendicular to this, we need to use the property that if we have two lines, and let's say they cross at a right angle, we can say that for line 1, it has slope 1, and for line 2, it has slope m2. Excuse me, this should be slope m1. Now, when we multiply these together, m1 multiplied by m2, and we know that they cross at a right angle, their product is always -1. Now, this is not something that I'll prove in this video, but this is absolutely true, and it's often seen in a slightly different form. We could solve for one of these slopes. We can say that m1 is -1 over m2. Or in other words, one of the slopes is the opposite reciprocal of the other one. So if we know the slope of one of these lines that's perpendicular to another, we can give it the opposite sign and find its reciprocal. So let's write this slope as 3 over 1, and then we can say that the slope of the line that is perpendicular to this line right here, it would have the opposite sign, so minus, and we would flip this fraction over. We would look at its reciprocal. So for the equation of the line that we're looking for, that's perpendicular to this line, it would have a slope of -1/3. And from here, we can also use this fact that it passes through the point -9, 5. And since we know the slope and we know a point on the line, we can use our point slope formula. Now we could also use this slope-intercept formula. We could plug in what we know for our slope. We can plug in an x value of -9 and a y value of 5 and then solve for that y-intercept. That is certainly a valid method. Or we can use this point slope formula. Y minus y1 is m multiplied by x minus x1. And we'll just label that for our coordinate point here. We have -9 is x1 and 5 is y1. So let's now plug everything in. We get y minus y1, which is 5, is equal to m, the slope of our line, -1/3. And this is multiplied by x minus x1, which is -9. And we're subtracting a negative, so that's the same as adding. And this right here is technically the equation of the line that's perpendicular to this line, and it passes through this point. Now, if we want, we can also put it in slope-intercept form. So let me make a bit of room, and We just need to solve this for y, so let's distribute the minus 1/3, and we can add 5 to the other side. So we get that y is minus 1/3 x, and minus 1/3 plus 9, or multiplied by plus 9, would be minus 3. And we are adding 5 to all of that, so our final answer then will be minus 1/3 x plus 2. This is equal to y. So this right here is the equation of the line that's perpendicular to this line and passes through this point, minus 9, 5. And we know that it's perpendicular to this line because if we multiply their slopes, we get back -1. We can do 3 multiplied by minus 1/3. If we put this over 1 and then multiply fractions going straight across, we get minus 3 over 3, which of course is -1. So that's how we know they are perpendicular. That is always the property of two lines that are perpendicular, that their slopes multiply to -1. And we can see that it passes through -9, 5, because if we plug in -9 here, 9 over 3 is 3. The negatives cancel. We get 3 plus 2, which is 5. So that confirms that this is in fact the correct answer.